Imagine slipping into a candlelit chamber beneath the sands of ancient Egypt, where hooded figures pass forbidden scrolls from hand to trembling hand texts so dangerous the church would one day burn entire libraries just to keep them hidden. These are the Gnostics, guardians of a mystical science older than Christianity itself, a tradition that claimed to unlock the secrets of the cosmos and the divine spark buried within every human soul. Tonight, you're about to uncover the story the Vatican doesn't want you to hear, the Gnostic secrets of Christianity before Christianity, and the epic conspiracy to erase them from history. Long before the first gospel was inked, Gnostic wisdom flowed from the temples of Egypt, the geometries of Pythagoras, and the cosmic battles of Persian mystics. These teachings weren't about blind faith or obedience. They were about gnosis, a direct personal experience of the divine. The world, Gnostics taught, was a prison built by a false god, the Demiurge, a cosmic tyrant who trapped souls in flesh and illusion, feeding on their ignorance. Salvation wasn't found in churches or rituals, but in awakening to your true nature, a spark of pure, immortal light, older than the stars themselves. When Jesus appeared, Gnostics recognized him not as the founder of a new religion, but as the latest in a line of ancient teachers, one who came to reveal the hidden path to liberation. In their secret texts, Jesus doesn't demand worship or obedience. He whispers riddles about the kingdom of heaven being within you, about making the two into one, about bringing forth the light buried deep inside. These weren't parables for peasants. They were encrypted instructions for escaping the cosmic matrix, breaking free from the archons, the invisible jailers who rule over our reality. But as the Roman Empire began to collapse, a different vision of Christianity was rising, one built on obedience, hierarchy, and control. The early church fathers saw the Gnostics as a threat to their power, accusing them of heresy, madness, and even devil worship. The battle lines were drawn: Gnostic enlightenment versus Orthodox authority. The Council of Nicaea in 325 AD wasn't just a theological debate, it was a political purge. Bishops who had never tasted gnosis themselves voted to banish Gnostic texts, branding them as poison. What followed was a campaign of terror. Sacred libraries torched, entire communities wiped out, and secret teachings driven underground. But the Gnostics were masters of secrecy. They encoded their wisdom in symbols, buried manuscripts in the desert, and passed their secrets through whispered initiations. For centuries, the church believed it had won until 1945, when a farmer in Nag Hammadi unearthed a clay jar filled with lost Gnostic gospels. Suddenly, the world glimpsed a Jesus who taught inner transformation, a Mary Magdalene who rivaled the apostles, and a vision of reality that made the church's dogma look like child's play. The Gospel of Thomas, perhaps the most explosive of these texts, contains sayings of Jesus that flip the story upside down. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. The kingdom is spread upon the earth, but men do not see it. These aren't calls to worship, they're challenges to wake up, to remember who you really are. The Gnostics believed the greatest heresy was to forget your own divinity, to let the world of matter and rules blind you to the infinite power within. The conspiracy to suppress this knowledge didn't end in the ancient world. Medieval Cathars in France, Bogomils in the Balkans, even the Knights Templar all carried echoes of Gnostic wisdom, and all were brutally exterminated by crusades and inquisitions. Renaissance alchemists and secret societies encoded Gnostic symbols in their art and rituals, always one step ahead of the Church's censors. Even today, the Vatican holds thousands of manuscripts in its secret archives, texts scholars aren't allowed to see, stories that could rewrite everything we think we know about the origins of Christianity. Why was this knowledge so dangerous? Because Gnostic secrets threaten the very foundation of institutional power. If every human could access the divine directly, no priests, no sacraments, no obedience required, then the Church's monopoly on salvation would collapse overnight. The Gnostics offered a blueprint for spiritual revolution, a path to freedom that made kings and popes irrelevant. No wonder the authorities did everything in their power to erase them. But the story doesn't end there. Modern physics and consciousness research are starting to echo Gnostic ideas. That reality is not what it seems, that consciousness shapes the universe, that we are far more than flesh and bone. The ancient warning about Archon's parasitic forces feeding on fear and ignorance sounds eerily familiar in an age of mass manipulation, propaganda, and digital control. Could it be that the Gnostics were right all along? That the real prison is the one we build in our own minds? So what forbidden truths are still buried in the Vatican's vaults? What other secrets did the Gnostics die to protect? And if you could access the gnosis they risked everything to share, would you take the red pill and wake up? Or stay safely asleep in the world the authorities built for you? Drop your wildest theories and questions in the comments. I want to hear what you think about the Christianity before Christianity. If you're ready to dig even deeper into the secrets they tried to erase, hit subscribe and ring the bell, because next week we're uncovering another chapter of forbidden history that could change everything you thought you knew about the past. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop searching for the truth they tried to bury.